just keep playing. Sometimes it's going to go your way, sometimes it's not. But as long as I stay the course, that's all I can be in control of. Whether I can't control the ball go in, some turnovers I can't control, some of them I can't. But just stay with it. Just play my game and don't worry about too much else. It's been a long journey, but it's been a great journey. It's been worth it. We put ourselves in position to win the NBA Finals. After winning 15 games in our first year here, to some years not making the playoffs, to 3 years, the last 2 years thinking we had a chance and we just didn't do enough. And now we're here. This is what we worked for, and we're just, I'm, extremely happy that we're still playing. I definitely wish he was out there with us, but he's still here with us. On the bench cheering us on, talking to us during the game. He's still a part of it, whether he's playing or not. Hopefully we get him back out there soon. But I think he still appreciates it all. I'm sure he thinks or wishes he was out there playing, but it still means everything to him the same amount that we still got a chance to play for an NBA Final.
We now welcome in our NBA analyst, Tim Legler, and let's talk about that man right there that just spoke. Chris Middleton, 32 total points in the Bucks win. But that third quarter was something else, Legler. I know you were just as impressed as I think the rest of Twitter, everyone just going wild. How was he able to capitalize on all of those opportunities coming out of halftime?
Yeah, I'm not surprised anymore about what I see out of Chris Middleton, Ashley. This is a guy that has had these kind of outbursts now for the last couple of postseasons at critical moments. He's elevated himself to a star scorer in this league, and he sensed coming out of that locker room to start the third quarter, this is what it was going to take. He had to take over the game. And once a shooter gets a first two to go down or so in a quarter, now you're going to start hunting shots, and that's exactly what he did. And his three-point shot is really what triggered all of this. At 6'8", he can get it off whenever he wants to. I think he got into a comfort zone because Atlanta, for the most part, was playing him single coverage, and the guys that were guarding him, he could go up and over the top of. So he knew he was the most accomplished offensive player in this game because you don't have Giannis, and Trae Young was limited. He was a shell of himself and what we normally see out of him. So Chris Middleton by far was the most proven offensive commodity in this game, and it was a matter of time before he found his rhythm. And once he did, he put the Atlanta Hawks to bed really by himself in that third quarter. That's when they got the big separation, and then they just held on. A rally led by Cam Reddish in the fourth quarter just wasn't enough because of the lead they built up when Chris Middleton went on that run.
You talked about Trae Young there, being a shell of himself, obviously suffered that freak injury, stepping on an official's foot and rolling his ankle. Just so disappointing to see Trae after being such a superstar in these playoffs. Coming to this point, what did you see from him tonight in this game?
Yeah, first, I just feel sick for him. For the year he had, the postseason, he had to have a fluke injury basically end his season because he tried to play tonight, and I know what his thinking was. I don't want to be sitting on the bench in street clothes and my team season could potentially end. So he wanted to go out there and give it a shot. But you could tell right away he just didn't have the ability to separate or lift on the deep shot. And that's really a big part of his game. It sets up so many things for him. Much like a Steph Curry or a Damian Lillard, you've got to guard Trae Young at certain places on the floor that most guys you wouldn't even consider it. And it sets up his ability to drive, get into the lane, finish floaters, lob plays, things like that. But it's predicated on being a threat for the three-point line. And I just saw a guy very reluctant to pull the trigger on the deep shot. He would go into his move, he'd get the separation, and you're thinking he's going to shoot it, and then he would just pick the ball up and pass it because in his mind, he wasn't separating enough, he wasn't getting enough pushback from the defender, and he knew he didn't have enough lift off the ground to get it over bigger guys, and that's really what dictated his night. It was a shame because it was obvious. Number one, he was in pain, but more importantly, he knew he was limited, and he became a very one-dimensional player because the perimeter was completely taken away from him by that right foot. And so you feel bad. I understand why he wanted to give it a try and the effort he put into it. But a guy that important, Ashley, it's got the ball that much, that's that limited, it's almost impossible for your offense to operate efficiently.
Certainly. I mean, this Hawks team overcame so much middle of the season. To get where they were was just an unbelievable thing that they did. And for Trae to suffer the way he did at the very end, too bad, but definitely looking forward to seeing him and the way he improves these next few years. Tim, stick around with us because we're going to get a preview of these NBA Finals, the Suns versus the Bucks, coming up pretty soon. Thanks so much.
Meantime, 3 weeks ago, the sports world missed the previous 2 games, bone bruise in his right foot, sprained ankle as well, but he wasn't going to sit this one out. Season on the line. He gave it a go. He just was not his normal self. Giannis did not play the hyperextended left knee early on. Trae struggling. He had 3 turnovers in that first quarter, 3 points as well. The Bucks taking advantage. The jumper. It was the elevation that wasn't there, or just the fact that, you know what, he hadn't played in a couple of days. A little rusty, whatever it was, he was not his old self. Chris Middleton struggled in the first half, only 5 points. It was kind of an uninspiring first half from both teams, but third quarter, Middleton got it going. Off the bounce, 2 in a row. Then the open 3, 5 straight points. Next possession, Middleton. You can't even give him that. He'll knock it down. He had 8 points in a row. Deer District going crazy in Milwaukee. Next Bucks possession, Middleton. And 1 with the left hand off the window. He made 11 points consecutively. More from Middleton in the third. Free throw line pull-up. Got it. 13 in a row. He put the Bucks on his back in that third quarter. 16 consecutive points. The lead was 16, but he wasn't done. Pull-up 3, are you kidding me? Middleton went for 23 in the third most in any playoff quarter over the last 25 years. Only AI and Dame had more. Giannis loves it. Bucks led by 19. Under 4 minutes to go in the game. Off the turnover. Cam Reddish, who was really good in transition. Clint Capella throws it down. Hawks went on a 21-7 run. They were down by just 6. Bucks get it back, though, and Drew Holiday. Sensational. He had 27 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists. And then buck 30 to go. Holiday to Brook Lopez, who was great in Game 5. 13-6 here in Game 6. Milwaukee had 24 assists in the game. P.J. Tucker made 2 field goals, 1 3-pointer. That was it. It put this one away. Drew Holiday and the Bucks win it 118-107. New on SportsCenter, the Bucks point guard.
I don't know. This is the first time I've been in this position. Man, I've been so blessed over the last couple of years with everything going on to be able to land in a spot like this to fulfill my dream. So God's blessed me and put me in the position just to go to the finals. So I'm still trying to let it. I mean, it's still sinking in, and I'm trying to come down. But it's I don't know, man. Words can't really describe it right now.
As far as the game goes, and you and Chris, there was a turnover, some shots were going in the first half. Eventually, kind of carried the really stitched things together, I guess, until Chris got hot in the third. So what were they doing maybe in the first half, and then obviously what flipped when Chris got hot?
I think they were being aggressive and staying consistent. We went up early, we went up big, but they stayed consistent. They stayed with their game plan and kind of really got back into it. But our bench and everybody did a great job of keeping our composure. Man, me and Chris were turning that thing over, weren't we? But yeah, but at the end of the day, Chris carried us. Chris carried us there for a lot of it. Just leaving his heart out there. It's kind of like if we're going to go down, we're going to go down in his shoulder. So I'm riding with him, riding right into the finals.
Yes, they are. The Bucks have not been messing around this postseason when they have a chance to clinch. They're now 6-0 with a chance to wrap up a playoff series under Coach Bud. Mike Budenholzer himself, 9-2 in clinch opportunities. That's the second best mark all time, only behind Coach Ty Lue. And the Bucks have not won a title since 1971. This is going to be their first trip to the finals since 74, when Milwaukee fell to the Celtics in 7 games. Of course, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Oscar Robertson in that final. And Robertson was in the final season of his Hall of Fame career. The finals mean so much to these two teams because, get this, I can't believe this stat. No player on either the Bucks or Suns has ever won an NBA championship. So this will mark the first NBA Finals where no players have previous rings since all the way back in 1977 when the Blazers played the Sixers. A guy who will still have to wait another year to pursue another ring, or his first ring, I guess I should say. Trae Young, here he is.
I didn't want to have any regrets after the night. Didn't want to go, not play, and then think to myself all offseason if I could have been out there and played, if I could have helped my team at all in any way, it would have hurt me. So just go out and just play and at least leave it all out there on the floor. That's all we could do. We all play a role in our success, and Nate is a big piece of our success. Just his trust in me, his belief in everybody. His competitiveness, it really rubbed off on everybody, and we were all really fighting for each other and believed in each other. And I think it all started from his messages, and you could tell it really was a trickle-down effect to everybody in the locker room. So I think when it comes to his part of our success, I think that's the big thing.
I love to see Trae like that. You can tell he's disappointed, but he has so many reasons to be confident and hopeful because this Bucks team made a coaching change with Nate McMillan halfway through, and they earned that 5 seed in the East. And after beating the Knicks and then the Sixers, they became just the 4th team in the past 40 seasons to make the Eastern Conference Finals with a mid-season coaching replacement. The future looking very bright for Trae and the rest of his team.
The same cannot be said for the Yankees right now, Ashley. Subway Series played for a title, and you just heard the man, 1974, the last time the Bucks played for a title. Here's their road to the NBA Finals. Got off to a strong start against the Heat, beating Miami by an average of 20.5 points per game. They outscored the Heat by 82 points over the course of the series. Giannis and company appeared as if they would be on a mission. Conference semifinals, they got the Brooklyn Nets, and boy, you knew that would be a tall order even with all the injuries. Down 0-2 in the series, they forced that dramatic Game 7. Kevin Durant's incredible shot there to force overtime. Giannis able to will Milwaukee to victory in that Game 6, 30 points, 10 rebounds in 6 of the 7 games. They beat the Nets, advance to the conference finals, and then against the Hawks, they would be forced to overcome adversity. Giannis, that scary hyperextension of the left knee in Game 4. Brook Lopez stepped it up in Game 5. He exploded for 33 points, 7 rebounds, and then the third quarter tonight in Game 6. Chris Middleton, electric. They'll get the Suns in Game 1 Tuesday on ABC. Mike Budenholzer off the Popovich tree and to the NBA Finals.
What a roller coaster of emotions, especially this series, but the series before and opening with Miami and how good they are, and so just impressed with the resilience of the group, the character of the group. They have a focus and an edge that's put us in a good place, put us in an opportunity to keep playing, and so you got to deal with all those emotions, all the everything that goes into each round, and this group has been able to do that. It's impressive, but we got more to do. Every team's got a different journey. Every team's got to go through different things. Certainly, anytime you lose, you got to be honest with yourself. You got to look. You got to reflect, and try and get better. And so I think, just like every team in the league, when this group hasn't been able to advance, hasn't been able to continue. It's hurt. It's been hard, and the off season, the guys that put the work in, the players that put the work in, and I'm impressed with what they've done, really every year. But coming into this year, but there's still more to be done.
Still more to be done, and it begins on Tuesday, Game 1 in Phoenix. When the Bucks have had the chance, they have closed the door, 3-0. With the opportunity to clinch a playoff series this postseason. Mike Budenholzer's won 9 straight clinching opportunities dating back to his days in Atlanta. The only streak longer in NBA postseason history held by Phil Jackson. Not bad.
All right, let's get to it. I'm Ash Brew. This is the Brewers, and the Brewers are